What's that? A sneak preview? Yes, as we hit the hard reset and start from the beginning. Oh yes. Hello all of you beautiful people, and welcome. You've joined me on a journey back in time to 1992. This is the very first game I remember playing and finishing. So, I wanted to share this experience with you. Come and time travel with me. What's the harm? You end up sleeping with your mother? Who cares? You're keeping it in the family, and that's what's important. So, with all of that out the way, this is Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Master System. It didn't even release on the Master System in America, so this might be an interesting experience for some of you. And if you don't care about VJ games, stick around anyway. We can have a cozy little chit-chat. So, the reason I wanted to play this is because, one, I haven't played it in about a decade. I thought it could be something fun to do. We could share this experience. You can see me get nostalgic. I'll show you where all the secrets are. Because, you know, I'm sure you're staying awake late at night and then waking up in cold sweats after you do fall asleep, wondering where those Chaos Emeralds are on that old Master System game from 29 years ago. I know you are. You're like, get out of my head, how do you know these things? I just know, okay? I just know. But yes, I did a video playthrough of Streets of Rage 4 about a year ago, and I liked that. It was a way for me to talk and play... Missed that jump. Talk and not do very well. That's what we're doing, okay. And now there's no way to get back up there. Pro strategy, okay. So we missed out on that bonus life up there. But, what I was trying to say is I thought that was fun. Playing Streets of Rage 4, chit-chatting, having some gameplay in the background. It's like we're friends. The kind of friends where one person keeps talking constantly for over an hour and the other person is not allowed to say a single word until afterwards, through text. And the microphone preview at the bottom is peaking like crazy. It doesn't seem to like when I get energetic. How dare they? But okay, now, as I said, I must have played this when I were about 4 years old. And it was quite a good game to start with, because there are only 2 buttons, and both of them are jump. And for anyone who hasn't played a Sonic game, but is for some reason watching this, if you get hit with 0 rings, you lose a life. If you collect 100 rings, which are all these circles everywhere, you gain a life. You know, just like real life. Just hold on to all the circles. Now, this game was particularly hard, because this was back in the day when games were about 20 minutes long. So to stop you from finishing it in a day and trading it in, they were super cheap and shitty about where the deaths were. So I'm hoping past me still has all the knowledge locked away. And that thing we just collected was a Chaos Emerald. Ooh. And there's one hidden on the second act of the first 5 stages. Or first 5 worlds, or whatever you want to call them. Zones! That's the one. And when you collect all of those and you defeat the final boss, you unlock a super secret extra zone. Yes. And that's what we're going to aim for. Will we do it? Bollocks if I know. But maybe you will. You could skip to the end and tell me. I won't listen, because I'm too busy talking. But you'll know. And that's half the battle. So, the third act is always a boss in these old ones. And again, there are no rings on the boss levels, so you have to get to the boss and defeat it without taking a hit. And this game also came out on the Game Gear. And this boss was notoriously difficult on the Game Gear because the resolution of the screen was way smaller, so there was less room to dodge. So there were people who, even though I could finish this game pretty much with my eyes closed after a while... Watch me die instantly here. See, you can just jump over them like it's nothing. But in the Game Gear version, half the screen was just not there. So you had to be pretty much pixel perfect. I don't know what the lore is here. I don't give the slightest of shizes. For some reason, these balls are just angry at him. And then after a while he's like, fuck it, for king and country! You missed. Hey buddy, you missed. I'm still here. You don't have to go. I'll give you a second chance, it's fine. He's gone. Okay. And at the end of the boss, this weird mustachioed spaceship tries to just hover around. You hit it, and little birdies and bunnies fall out of the sky. You think they'd break their legs. But no. They're resilient. And with that, we're a seventh of the way through the game. But yeah, the reason I wanted to play this is so it's something to watch in the background while we can chit-chat and catch up. It's been about a year since I've made one of these, as I said. Last one was Streets of Rage 4, and they're coming out with new content for that game very soon, which I'm very much looking forward to, as that was my favorite game of last year, hands down, no contest! Although I did play another game called AI The Somnium Files, but that came out in 2019. The best story I've ever experienced in anything. It's like 40 hours of just plot twists that you don't see coming but make perfect sense. It's like, hey, everything made sense before, but now this has not only flipped everything on its head, but it somehow works. That game dares you to find a plot hole, as it completely changes everything you thought you knew. But okay, I'm trying to get to the left right now, because there is a secret over there. Here it is. See, there's a life and then little birdies show. Where are the birdies? I feel betrayed. There were definitely birdies here. They didn't want to come out to play today. Never liked them anyway. Okay. So, anyone watching this, did you grow up with this? If you lived in America, you probably didn't, because again, this came out on the Master System, and that wasn't very popular in America. They were all about that Nintendo and Super Nintendo. So the very last game to come out on the Master System over there was Sonic 1, which this is, of course, the sequel to. Who's that egotistical that they put their own face on those things? It's always weird that there's a scoring system in these games, because there's no high score. There's not even like a leaderboard at the end. It doesn't show you anything. So you've got a score, and then it's like, okay, thanks. Numbers. Now, this is actually a reissue of this game, because the original version... I'm trying to get the Chaos Emerald. It's up here. By the way, trying to find these. Back in 1992. No internet, no walkthrough guides, not even knowing the rules of where they were. Just the instruction manual said, collect all the Chaos Emeralds to unlock a secret zone. It didn't say anything about them being on Act 2. See, there it is. Boop. But the original version, which I had on cartridge, you went above the sky here, and if this parachute touched the ceiling, it just disappeared and you fell back down. So you had to basically fight the game just enough to not touch the top of the screen, which made it way more difficult, whereas I got there first time there. Either way. And that's that level. Ta-da! So yeah, there seems to be quite the retro resurgence lately. Nostalgia is big, it seems, because the people who grew up with this are now the people with disposable income, or at least they were until all of the BS hit over the past year. But we had things like Crash Bandicoot remakes, Spyro, even Tony Hawk. It's a shame there's only Tony Hawk 1 and 2, but I bought that anyway, it was still good. I just wish it included 3, although that is coming to the Switch, so having portable Tony Hawk games, that could be a good time. Okay, this is the worst boss. Because again, you've got no health. Everything kills you. You have to do these 8 little egg bird things. And then you drop down here. You have to be super quick. Because they hatch, and then he comes out of nowhere. Shoots his bullshit. Ooh! Okay. That's probably going to be a recurring theme. I could have been playing this on an emulator with Rewind, but that's super cheating! We're better than that. We've got 6 lives. Will we make it? Hopefully. But after this, it's pretty much smooth sailing. So yes, this year is the 30th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog. And they haven't announced anything yet, except for maybe like a Sonic Colors remaster. Which is fine, but you think they'd be doing something fancy. There was allegedly a Sonic Adventure remake in the works, but then that got cancelled for whatever reason. So I'm trying to focus on this. It'd be funny if this is where our journey ends. Hopefully not. No? No? Ooh! It gave me that one. Okay. Oh. Well, thank you. I thought I would have got squished by that on the left there, but apparently not. But yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna make like a Sonic Mania 2 this year. That would be quite good. I really enjoyed the first one, Sonic Mania, back in like 2017, I think that came out. Maybe 2016. But I've tried playing that recently, and it's just... It has that pitfall of most Sonic games, where you're going fast, and then you immediately lose all your speed because of an enemy you had absolutely no way of seeing coming. See, I like this level, because you can just skim across the water, and skip all the bullshit. I was looking at the file size of this, and it was only 512 kilobytes. These days you get patches to games that are like 10,000 times that, so the fact that you get a whole fully functional game with 21 levels for half a megabyte, well, that's pretty impressive. And a nice water effect here. It's got that stippling effect, or cross-hatching, or whatever you call it. Because back in the day you used to have those tube TVs. So it would just blend the colors together. But playing this on a LCD now, you can see how they got away with it. Ooh, that was a horrible noise. Okay, we're on Act 2, which means we have to try and find that emerald. I have a decent idea of where it is. Oop. Falling through the floor? Okay, I guess we're going this way. It's funny seeing this in a higher resolution now. So I'm looking at these enemies, I'm like, oh, that's what that was. Okay. I don't know what 4-year-old me thought that was, but it's clearly a lobster at this point in time. But yeah, as I said, this was, to my memory, the first game I ever played, and probably the first one I finished. Along with, Wonder Boy in Monster Land. Any of you ever play that one? That was another bastard of a game, because you could finish it in about an hour if you knew what you were doing, but that must have taken me and my dad months to get through that. Especially the dragon at the end. We had to solve the puzzle of the maze, it was a whole thing. So yeah, this was a tricky one too, because, just again, all of the bosses, you've only got one shot, and if you lose your lives, you gotta play the whole game again. And also being 4 years old doesn't help. Okay, here's the bit. You have to hold left. I don't know why I'm treating this like a strategy guide, but here we go. You gotta hold left, and you'll be spat out to this area where you get the emerald. Boom. There we go. Now you hold down on the way back in here, and you'll get an extra life. You get plopped down here. Boop. It's all coming back to me. And if we can get 3 more rings without dying, we'll get an extra life. Okay. Ta-da! You gotta go in the bubble so you don't drown. This was one of the worst bits, because you gotta do all this without getting hit, otherwise you fall all the way down. You gotta watch out for those lobsters. They want a sexy piece. So you gotta go on the opposite side of the lobsters, but underneath the spears. Is that the last one? But you still need the bubble, so you gotta hold down and then press left at the same time and watch it. But the collision detection's pretty terrible here, so you gotta be pretty early. Again, I haven't quite figured out what kind of audience is watching this right now. I hope you're taking notes. There'll be a test at the end. All of you people who have no interest in ever playing this, there's gonna be a pop quiz. 40 questions. What was the name of the water zone? It was Aqua Lake. There you go. Remember that. But yeah, it's interesting seeing how much stuff is coming back lately. But I mean, if it's selling at, you know, supply and demand, that's what it's all about. I even cried a little happy tear when they came out with Crash Team Racing remake. Because that had online multiplayer. I'm like, oh my god, it's like the bastards did it. They went back in time and brought this forward. So yeah, that was the clue we had there. That's what you have to do to defeat this guy. See? Little built-in tutorial. So you basically just stand up. Whereas if I jump now, he'll bounce me somewhere. Which is not a good time. You gotta pop these on his nose. Otherwise they become lethal death balls. I still can't quite tell what's going on. Is he blowing bubbles? Is that his nose inflating for some reason? We'll maybe never know. That should be the last one. Yep. Every boss takes 8 hits. Come on. There we go. Now sometimes you can get on that. If you time it just right, you can just hover on the top of it. And it spews out animals for about 60 seconds before stopping. Ah, Green Hill Zone. This was my first experience with Green Hill Zone. If I had known they'd bring it back another 12 times or whatever it was, I wouldn't have been as nostalgic or enjoyable. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. It's the noises, too many noises going on. But yeah, this was my favorite level. There are lives everywhere, it has good music, good atmosphere. Until you get to the boss, as you'll see. That's when it goes into factory territory. I don't remember what's over here. Anything? Let's risk it. Oh. No. Is there anything over here? Maybe a life? We can go through this. Let's see. Invincibility. Okay, I'll take it. So, did any of you play that Crash Bandicoot 4 that came out too? I thought that was pretty good. Not worth £60. They charge £60 for it over here. I'm like, $60 is not £60. Can you not? And then they complained that it didn't sell as high as they thought they would. Or sell as many copies as they thought it would. I'm like, well, no shit. You had the trilogy remade. You know, 1, 2, and 3. You sold that for £35 or $40. So yeah, of course that's gonna sell. And then you make one more game and sell it for £60. So you're getting a third of the content for almost double the price. No wonder. But yeah, I thought it was decent enough. Except for them hiding those boxes. It's one thing having hidden gems. But then they went and hid like 1 or 2 of the boxes on almost every level. So you go through all that, trying to get all the boxes. Damn, missed it. Well, we're not getting that. Speaking of missing boxes, yes. But yeah, they would hide like 1 or 2 boxes on every level in like just ridiculous locations. It's like, isn't that the whole reason you have the hidden gem? Hide that all you want. It's in the name. It's hidden. But yeah, it was so disheartening. That one almost got me there. Okay. Now again, we're on Act 2, so there's another Chaos Emerald somewhere. I think I remember where it is. It's high up. You gotta get on a few plungers. So, I will continue to talk to you people, even though you can't respond. The comment section is there. I do read it. Don't lurk in the shadows. So, did any of you grow up with any of these Sonic games? Do you have a favorite? Do you ever go back to all these old games and try to relive them? It's interesting to see how popular, or how much of a resurgence Wonder Boy had. Because there's like 25 years where nothing happened, and all of a sudden there's about 4 games in a row. I really did like the Monster Boy one, that was pretty good. There it is. And those Shantae games are pretty similar. Okay, we're 4 for 4 right now with those gems. Or emeralds. We're doing pretty well. I just remembered the 5th gem, or I keep calling them gems. Damn Crash Bandicoot 2! But the 5th emerald, that's the one that took me and my dad months to find. And you'll see why. Again, we kind of figured out after a while that it was on Act 2, because we were like, okay, we got the first 4. They were on Act 2, so it must be on Act 2. But we just couldn't find it for the longest time. Oh, this is the worst level, by the way. You've got to get to the boss, which is already dangerous. But because the resolution is so low, and the camera's not pulled back enough, you can't see where the bottomless pits are. You've got to bounce on a very specific set of plunges. And there's not much of a... Ooh, was that it? Oh, I did it first time, okay. This boss is a tricky one. You have to time it just right. Because he's either going to go low, go straight, or go up overhead. And you've got like a small window to hit him after the jump. If you touch him when he's in a ball, you immediately die. So here we go. Okay, we're halfway there. I believe in us. Until we lose, then I think you're a colossal failure. But until then... Okay, 2 more. Come on. Don't balls it up. Don't balls up the balls. We did it. Hopefully someone calls his family and says he's not coming home for supper. Pew, 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 pew. You think as they're getting hit that 8th time and they're blowing up into little poofs of smoke, they're like, I'm not getting paid enough for this shit, baby. I regret all of my life choices. Okay. I remember liking this one. And this was one of my favorite areas. And looking at it now, I'm like, I wonder if it was the purple. Because dark purple's my favorite color. It's very calming and soothing on the eyes. So yes, is this little cozy chit-chat doing anything for you? I mean, I'm guessing if you have no interest in this game, you haven't got this far into the video, which is fine. But there's no reason to address people who aren't here, because the only people who are going to hear that are the people who are still here. And you'd just be wasting their time. So to everyone still watching this, hello. We're almost at the end. And we balls that one up. Okay. Wait, no. We have to get there. This level is basically like a giant X. You start in the top left, go to the bottom right, go up to the top right, and then end up in the bottom left. There's a life lesson there somewhere. I don't know where it is, but there is. Whee! Beautiful. So, did any of you play any good games last year? I can't even think of what came out last year. Most things got delayed because of the reasons. I needed some water, I'm sorry. Don't you get... He was getting sassy at me there. Let's hang on a sec. And I'll use that as a way to drink some more water. You see, we're doubling up. It's like he's patting someone on the ass. It's like, come on, lads, get a move on. But okay, this is the level where I couldn't find the emerald for the longest time. We would search high and low, me and my father. It's like, was it up here? Is this a teleporter? Is it down here? Where is it? Where is it? Now, in the previous level, we went through these squares to find secret things. So we were like, okay, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Turns out, it is here. You've got to go through this wall that has no logic for you to jump into it. Especially since everything is leading you up and to the right. I remember my dad I think he accidentally jumped in there, or he was just trying anything at this point, and he got there, and he's like, and then he went left, he's like, it's like, oh, it's working, and it's like, this rings, it's like, is it here? Just the anticipation of it. He went this way, and he's like, is it here? It's like, it's a life, oh no. Was it all this way just for a life? Because on the previous level, you went through the walls to get a life. It's like, was that it? There was a plunger here. It's like, okay, we can go up. There's another hole in the wall there. Hang on. Is it in here? It's like, oh, it's another life. It's like, no, is it here? It's gotta be here. For months we were searching for it. Is it here? It's like, okay, there's something over here. What is it? What is it? Anything? It's like, ah, it's there. It's there! Oh my god! And the sigh of relief as he grabbed that and the music played. He's like, ah. Now to finish the rest of the game and see what that was all for. As we leave that one ring. Anyone with OCD is like, collect them all, come on! Although the tricky thing about this game is if you get 100 rings, it resets back to 0. So if you get 100 rings and then get hit, you immediately die. So that's not great too. So you have to make sure that you get 101 to still have health. Oh, come on, that was some bullshit! But alright, we've got all of the emeralds that are in levels. The final one you get by defeating the final boss. But he only drops it if you've got the other 5, which we now have. Oop. Ta-da! Boom. Speaking of remakes, did you hear they're potentially remaking Metal Gear Solid 1? I know they've already remade it on the PlayStation, on the GameCube. They're gonna do it again, apparently. That's the rumor. Be nice to see that. Now this is another tricky boss, because just getting there is quite tough. And again, no rings, so you have to do the journey there and defeat the boss. Ooh! And defeat the boss without taking a hit. Now we had 9 lives there. Do we now have 8? No, okay, the number for whatever reason. They don't think you're gonna get more than 9 lives throughout all of this. That's a bit strange. So we may have 27, who knows? Okay. Come on. Yeah. I remember there being a tricky bit coming up. Oh, this... wait, no. I think you have to look up there. Because that was another thing. I vaguely remember the platforms disappearing if you don't look at them. I could be wrong on that one. There may have been a different game. But yeah, I remember this bit now. If you stay on this platform, it drops you down there. So you have to quickly jump on here. Here we go. It's basically the same thing as that other boss. You jump out the way, and then you hit him, but this time he drops little rocks. So. I mean, there's only so much they could do. I remember this being really tricky, because I used to stand here and wait for him, so I'd hit him at the very last second. But that just risks you getting crushed. Now I realize you can just jump over him, he's not going to turn around. Was that it? There we go. Come on. I wonder how that's working in Sonic's mind there. It's like, he's like, what is this invisible wall? Come on, I can see things to the right. Why do I have to wait for the screen to shift? Well, it wouldn't be the right, it would be his front. But okay, here we go. We got 2 zones left. Whoop. I guess we're going this way. But what is over here? Let's see. I don't remember. To me that looks like... oh, okay, I was going to say that looks like a bottomless pit. I always like the music on this one. Oop. Okay, we're going to try that one more time. Let's hit those boxes. Okay, we got it. And I think there's one here. Yes, okay. Not that it matters. I mean, we're not gonna lose all these lives. But, I mean, if they're gonna put all shiny oop! I think I subconsciously went that way again. Okay, how do we get up there? Is it not this way? No, okay. Because I'm seeing the pipe on the left there. I'm like, how do we get there? I guess this way. I always thought that little thing flying there was like a skip. You ever seen those crisps? Those little yellow disc things? I thought that's like a flying skip. But I was wrong. Okay. We're doing it! We're doing the things! Okay, that's the pipe I was seeing. Just in case you didn't know what way to go there. It's like, it's this way, we assure you. Those little creatures didn't have to die. It didn't have to be this way. Well, he just came back to life. They regenerate if you move this camera, so all is well. It's surprising how much of this is still in my muscle memory. Even after decades, it's like, yep, you still remember how to do these things. It's like, I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I can still remember where the bullshit traps are in this game. I got my priorities, man. No! Oh, this isn't gonna end well. No! Can we get up there? No. After just saying, hey, I remember all of the... Oop! No! Ow! But yeah, this one's a tricky one. You pretty much get one shot on these platforms. But okay, we know where to go, so let's do the things. Do all of the things. Do. Like how we just turned around there. It's like, lovely day for... I'm in the wrong neighborhood, don't mind me. Okay, that one's gonna blow up in my face. Wait, he wasn't even there that time. Maybe it was a different part too. But hey, we're where we were before. We won't bother with rings, who cares? That's not the way. Wow, these bastards. We're going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to hold left this time. And then down. Is that the way? Okay, we're doing it. And then we jump over here. It's good that the lives come back though, so you could, if you were so inclined, you could just farm them. See, we didn't fall for that this time. Okay, this bit was tricky, but I feel like it's still in my memory. Let's see. Look at that! 20 years later, still remember which way round you have to go through there. Otherwise, it poops you out the other chutes. Look at that high score that doesn't mean anything. Okay. Now this was another one. I don't remember exactly, but I think me and my dad were trying to find the emerald on this level, but there isn't one. You get it from defeating the final boss when you have all of them. And this is probably the biggest level in the game, so that was particularly annoying. You young whippersnappers and your instant walkthroughs by Googling it. A lot of these games, I don't know how I would not have the patience for these kind of games these days. I tried getting into Mega Man, and I just couldn't. I was like, fuck it, I'll just watch someone else play it online. If they can play the whole game in like 20 minutes, instead of me having hours and hours of frustration, that's the way to go. So maybe that's what this will be for you. You will no longer have to play this game. So you had to basically do that, otherwise this platform wouldn't be here in time, and you would just fall to your death. Ta-da! There's a lot of trial and error in this game. Like that bit where I was bouncing left and right constantly for a little bit there. I had to do that. Like, you literally have to do that. It's the only way to make that platform be where it needs to be. But how would you think to do that? Without dying first? That's a bit cheap. But okay. Here we are. But yeah, I grew up with the Master System. I didn't get a Mega Drive until I was about maybe 9 years old. But I think the Master System was the most popular thing over here. The fact that they still made games for it way after it stopped having any games released in America, it's, you know, a sign of that it was popular. Apparently Brazil loves the Master System. They're still selling it over there. Now, this is Silver Sonic, and he has a certain move that looks like he extends his dick out at you. Let's see if he does it. It's random. I kind of want him to do that just to show I'm not crazy. You gonna do it? You gonna do the thing? Don't tell me I dreamed that. Because that'd be a weird dream. It's like, I had the dream again, Mom. The one about the Silver Sonic penis. It's like, oh, we're raising a weird one. There it is. You see, what the hell was that? I still don't know what that was. Like even in terms of function, what is that supposed to do? Just catch Sonic off guard? It's like, whoa there, I didn't realize you were packing. I feel intimidated now. I'm just gonna... I guess you're the superior Hedgehog. There it is. He dropped the emerald. So now, this is where the game would normally end if you didn't collect all the emeralds. Because apparently you're trying to save Tails. And Tails is in this extra zone here. Even though all of the little title cards show Tails behind you. Nope. There's no way to play as him. Even when you finish it and you save Tails, you can't play the game again as Tails. I thought that was strange in Streets of Rage 2 as well. The whole point is you're trying to save the guy who was playable in the first game, and then when you save him, you can't play as him. It's like, well, what was... And he wasn't playable in the third one, so it's like, what was even the point? Whereas you can play as the kangaroo if you save him in Streets of Rage 3. You know, when you play it a second time without turning the machine off, but... Okay, apparently we're just gonna cheese this level, since we fell into the spikes. There we go. But there's not much to this level. You know, you put all that effort in. The finish is to the right there, but since I basically missed most of the level, if you're curious what all of the months of trying to find emeralds was worth, it's just basically plunges. Because it is kind of a bonus level, I guess. But since rings just give you lives and there's nothing to really use them on anymore, it's a bit pointless. Okay. I realize there's a platform there, but he's Sonic. He's faster than a platform. Come on, there we go. Okay. All these judgmental signs. Can we get to 300,000 before we finish this? Maybe. Oop. Now with that gameplay. How full of himself is this guy? Look, every single block has his face on it. Except for that one. Okay, where are we going? Oh. That was kind of bullshit. How are you supposed to know? And we missed the jump. Okay, we're right back at the start. We will speed through this now. Look at that speed. Oh, for fuck's sake. He really doesn't want me to get to his lair. Whee. No, you don't. Whose side are you on, Blue Circle? Look at us, we're supposed to be brothers. Well, that one's not gonna get you up there. Oh, come on! We're gonna do it this time. Huzzah! 2 for 2, baby. Chicken and chips. So any of you growing up as a Sega fan, have you ever played this one? I'm curious if you're the only Sonic 2 you know of is on the Mega Drive or Genesis, which is a whole other game. It's not even remotely similar to this. It's kind of funny actually, because I grew up with the Master System, and we got a lot of games on the Master System that were down ports of Mega Drive games. But instead of being the same game, they were, like in this case, they were completely different. It's not like the Switch, where you just, they lower the resolution and it's the same game. I remember playing Castle of Illusion, for example, and I'd be talking to kids on the playground and they'd be describing levels that weren't even in my version. I'm like, what? Are you lying? Like, I have... Having different childhoods. These days you can get the games on pretty much everything. Worst case scenario, it's 30 frames instead of 60. Kinda surprised how I just knew where all the secret lives were on that level. After all this time. Okay, this is the final boss. And from what I remember, there's quite a lot of flashing on this level, so... potential seizure warning, I guess? Because this boss is all about electricity. Ooh! Okay, that almost got me there. That wasn't my reaction to the flash, that was just, it was gonna kill Sonic. So, you're gonna loop-de-loop around here until you find an opening. But again, if you're sensitive to flashing lights, you might want to look away, because that's going to happen a lot. Ooh, especially if I die. Okay, this one might take a bit of a while. But you in present land, or my future land, you can just skim ahead if you don't want to see me die a bunch of times. I think you have to hit this guy 12 times, for whatever reason. I guess because he's the final boss. So we've hit him twice. Again, what? Don't look at the screen if you don't like flashing. It's weird, I never used to be bothered by flashing lights. But... about 4 years ago, suddenly I was, and just... Oh, that's not what you want! Okay. You got a very small window to hit him. I also need water. We're gonna do this, though. We didn't get this far to lose all of our lives. We're the opposite of Linkin Park right now. We've come so far to lose it all. Doesn't even matter. Okay. Again, I thought these... Oh, fuck you, buddy! It's like you're trying to kill me or something. What did I do to you just because you're a sexy furry bastard? Wants to capture my two-tailed friend to do nefarious things with. Robotnik is the ultimate furry if you think about it. He captures animals and turns them into robots. Sexy furry robots. Again, these flying things, I kept thinking those were like the Skips crisps as well. Look those up. You'll look at that and think, yeah, they do. Do it now. You know, if I had editing software, I would just throw in a picture of it. Is this gonna kill me again? Let's see. Okay, that's 6. We're halfway there. I believe in us. Okay, don't kill me, come on. Let's work together towards your death. Team effort. Was that 8? I wasn't paying attention there. Okay, 9. Wait, no, okay. I remember it being 12. That was quite anticlimactic, but okay. But serious seizure warning now. Look away, okay? Some ridiculous screen flashing right now. Any second now. I'm watching this in a small window, so it's not as bad for me. But if you're watching this full screen, that is like full screen flashing. See, I didn't quite understand what was going on back when I first played this. I'm like, did he turn into the fox? Is that... because this was before the cartoon or anything, so I don't know what was going on. I didn't pay attention to the intro. I'm like, did he... so he's a fox now? That was his punishment. I don't know, I was weird. Hey, look at that. We got 325,000. Numbers, guys. That's what it's all about. What score did you get, huh? Bet mine was better. My number could beat up your number. You know, considering he just saved the fox, you think he'd turn around and make sure he's not outpacing him too much. He's about to fly, or, you know, he's going to turn around and be like, fuck, I must have left him 6 zones back. So that was that game. I don't know how long this recording has been. Maybe like an hour. Maybe a little bit more, maybe. Program TT. Good for him. Mr. Sweet Teats over there. So. But yeah, I just wanted to share this with you. I felt like playing this, and I got some good feedback when I played that Streets of Rage 4 thing, as I've said about 8 times during this. And when they come out with that DLC for Streets of Rage 4, I might do another one of these too. I did intend for this to be a bit more of a casual chit-chat, rather than just focusing on the game. But, hey, that's how this ended up. Hopefully you enjoyed your time here. We went on a little journey through time and space. As the mic peaks on the word space. That's a nice purple. And this was back in the day where games used to thank you for playing. These days they don't bother. Ungrateful. They're too busy trying to sell you loot boxes and other bullshit. Now again, if you don't get all the emeralds, the ending is this exact same thing, but Tails doesn't follow you. And he's about to look up in the sky in a second. And there are going to be both of them as like starlight shows or whatever. But if you don't save Tails, it's only Tails in the sky, which doesn't make too much sense. I guess you're looking up and he died, and it's like, oh well, we'll always have Paris. But when you do save him, it's Tails and Sonic in the sky, so they both died. Yes. The only logical answer is, as they're looking up, a train comes and just kills them both right here. And that's why they're both in the sky now. It's the only explanation that makes sense. Come on now. So, hopefully you enjoyed that. Same time whenever the next one is. Stay beautiful. That's right, even when you win, it gives you the downbeat game over from losing all of your lives. It's like, there's a genuine life lesson in there somewhere. No matter how hard you try at anything, you'll still end up the same way. It'll be game over, baby. That's a high note to end on. Have a lovely day. I'm sorry.